Today's program is sponsored by The Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
You're listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not. Get into the loop with us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we are your radio gateway to what's trending with beauty, fashion, health, wellness, and sex.
Mostly sex.
Learn and laugh with us anytime, anyplace. Go right to our website, anthonyvincentsalon.com. Click away and listen today.
You'll be glad you did.
Yes, you will be.
And we have a great show for you today.
Of course we do.
We are going to talk about having sex in your car
Oh, my God.
while you're driving.
Oh, my God.
We're going to talk about something called a thunderclap headache.
Oh, my God.
But first, we're going to be talking about brain bombs.
Brain bombs? What is a brain bomb?
Well, it's like your brain goes right at the string.
Oh, do that again. Do that again.
Your brain goes.
I love that. You should see what his face looks like when he makes that sound, too.
That's called a brain fart.
Oh, my.
Yes, you hurried into the kitchen, but for what?
I love that. That's great.
It's probably not serious, but that lapse is your brain's way of telling you to chill out, baby.
Chill out.
Chill out. You're distracted. So it reverted to its resting state.
I see.
You know, you don't have Alzheimer's or dementia just because you don't remember where you put your keys. But if you don't remember what the keys are for.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
I lost my keys for 9 months once.
So,
do you know why?
Tell me why.
I was pregnant and I put them somewhere, and I was packing up some baby things that somebody gave to me, and I put the keys we found after the baby was born because I unpacked the stuff and there were my keys.
Very nice.
Oh, it was awful. I was freaking out.
At least you found them.
Yeah, 9 months later.
Hey, have you ever thought about like a song like the Sugar Hill Gang?
Oh, no.
You know? That rap song, and you just can't get it out of your head.
Yeah.
And you just sing it over and over and over
yeah,
again.
that
It's
happens to
just
me all the
stuck
time
there.
with that song.
Yeah. Well,
Rapper's Delight.
Yep. I love that.
I even know most of the words.
So I've heard. We recorded that, didn't we, Steve? Maybe we can play a little bit for us.
We've got the blackmail on tape.
Yeah, we do.
Oh,
Okay.
gosh, don't play that.
Can we hear him a second or two?
I mean,
Gosh.
that was our mic check today, because usually for our mic check,
Oh,
it's
no.
Mr. Vincent singing something to me, and it's always beautiful. But today was Elise's day.
Oh, my
So-
God. So you taped me singing Rapper's Delight?
Well, I may have hit the record button while we were doing our mic
You
check.
guys suck. Don't you dare play that.
If there's any lull in today's show, I want you to just automatically put that in there.
Yeah, if things get boring, I'll just flip the tape real quick.
Okay,
Nice.
perfect.
Thanks a lot. I see whose side you're on. Uh-huh.
Well, that song in your head is called The Earworm. Mm-hmm. And
You're like an earworm.
and Ricardo Montalban didn't put it there. You know, Khan, the earworm.
Yeah, I got it.
Different story.
I got it.
Anyway, so when you get a song stuck in your head like that, it just means that you're engaged in mindless activity. So the only
Yeah,
way
that's why you're in my head. Aha.
The only way out of it is sing another tune.
Oh, okay. So we'll sing something else.
Yes. What? And you got it?
I know the perfect song. Read my mind.
Come
on.
Got it.
Good.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ida. Happy birthday to you.
And you really got it. Good. Happy birthday, Ida.
Happy birthday, love. Do you know what a thunderclap headache is?
I do know what a thunderclap headache is.
Oh, you do. All right, I was going to spring this on you, but...
Well, you know what? I'm going to pretend I don't. So no, Anthony, I don't. Can you please tell me what a thunderclap headache is?
Well...
Spring it on me.
Okay. Darn, you know everything.
Go.
You just can't get anything over on this
No,
co-host.
come on.
Well,
What is it?
It's kind of a brain pain that makes for a not so happy ending in the bedroom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do share.
Well, typically the agony between your ears starts at the orgasm, and it could last for hours afterward.
Yes, that is absolutely the truth.
How do you know? You know about this stuff?
I know what it actually is. Yeah.
You are just amazing.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's actually quite painful. It's a terrible, terrible way to end a great day, if you will.
Yes, this is a headache. It's sudden and it is severe, and it can be a little explosive and alarming.
Yes, very alarming.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these thunderclap headaches actually come upon you right after you have an orgasm, and there's actually a neurology department at the Chicago School of Medicine that studies these things, and the exact cause of these headaches after orgasm isn't really clear, but they think that it might be triggered by the intense muscle contractions and tension and the adrenaline as your body approaches orgasm.
But what's so interesting is that it doesn't necessarily happen when you're exercising or anything like that.
It only happens when you're
about to reach
exercising.
Yeah, about to reach orgasm. So it's like as the orgasm is coming on, that's when the pain starts, and then it explodes almost as you do.
Only your head feels like it's going to explode.
Yeah.
Your big head, not your little head.
Oh, okay then. So does it happen in men also, or only in women?
It happens in men and women, and it actually is more common in men.
Really?
Yeah. These sex headaches, are rare, but they are always benign.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, that's from some of the research that I've done. There are some things that you can do about it. In fact, if anybody would like to know a little bit more about a thunderclap headache, you can email us at trendradio920@gmail.com, and I will actually give you all of the information and some sites that you can go to. Because some people getting them can actually think they're having a stroke or something, some sort of really serious brain issue.
So if you're kind of experiencing any of these issues, definitely call your doctor.
Oh, absolutely. So, Anthony, I have a little fun fact tidbit for you about the human body.
I love fun facts, and I love the human body. In fact, I like some human bodies better than others.
But do you like tidbits?
Actually, I do.
Okay. So listen to this. To slow down the bloodstream during intense fear or stress, the human body makes it easier for your blood to clot. And that's really important. Like the body actually will make it easier.
So if you're being chased by a knife welding maniac.
Yeah, like, just in case your co-host wants to stab you or something, you'll be fine.
I think my co-host always wants to stab me.
No, it's you who wants to stab me.
Never. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Oh, that was a sweet little thing.
Not a violent bone in my body, you know that.
Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. I have another tidbit for you.
Give it to me.
All righty.
I'm hungry.
Oh, are you? Well, I don't know about this one, but okay. Did you know that semen ejaculates at 27 miles per hour?
Holy mackerel.
Do you know that you can only drive 25 miles per hour in a school zone?
Well, that means then you can't ejaculate in a school zone.
Oh, you shouldn't. You'll get a ticket.
Yeah. How many people do you think actually have sex in the car?
I'm sure there are quite a few.
While they're driving?
I'm sure there are some.
Yeah.
Hey,
now,
you know what? Everybody needs a little hump in the road.
Do you know they did a study in the Journal of Accident Analysis and Prevention?
Oh, really?
Yes. And
Figures you'd find this study.
33% of men said that they engaged in sexual activities while driving.
I know quite a few who have.
You do?
I do.
Well, you got any names for us?
Men, women, no names, never. You'll
no
never
name. You no name names.
You'll never get it out of me.
Well, and kind of what have they done? Okay.
Kind of like it's private. Tell me about your study, though.
Okay. Well, these acts range from masturbation to intercourse, and it was mostly women. 15% of women masturbated while driving.
While they were driving or while their partner was driving?
No. Well, I'm going to get into that.
How are you?
Yes.
I feel like that's got to be more dangerous than texting while driving.
Oh, extremely.
I'm sure
extremely.
it is. I mean, like, let's face it. You're kind of...
And some people have even had intercourse while driving.
That is just odd and scary, knowing that there could be somebody having sex while they're driving, you know, while they're driving. Yeah.
Yeah. And
You're not allowed to talk on the phone while you're driving.
when you're having sex and you climax, you lose your cognitive control for about 5 or 6 seconds.
Yes,
So-
a lot can happen in a moment like that.
Typically, the sex in a moving car lasts about 10 or 15 minutes. And the car is going 60 miles an hour.
Oh my gosh.
And I guess it could go a little faster as things heat up.
I'm sure it does. It probably goes high. Yeah.
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 But do you know that 11% of the people let go of the steering wheel?
I would imagine that they would if they were having. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's scary.
38% drove above the speed limit.
I'm sure they did. Mm-hmm.
36 drifted into another lane.
Yeah.
And 2% had a near miss accident.
I'm sure
Can
that some
you
people
imagine?
have actually had accidents having
Yes.
sex.
Didn't GARP have a issue in the car? Anyway,
Oh my gosh.
so look that up.
Here's my question, though. I would think that, there's the driver and there's the passenger. So what's the percentage of the driver having sex and then the percentage of the passenger?
Well, as the driver, 33% of men have been the driver during the sex.
Okay.
And 9% of the women have been the driver.
You see that, you men? You guys have the higher percentage.
Well, we're the ones driving. You're the one in the passenger seat. And 30% of the women as passengers are having sex with the guy as he's driving.
Oh, yeah. Shame on us.
Mm-hmm. Where can I find a girl like that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, of those who've done the deed while driving, on average, men have done it 7 times. Women have done it 4.
Ah, see, again, you have the higher number.
Mm-hmm. Well, 50% of the people having sex in their car while driving, 50% of them reached orgasm during their last sexual encounter.
Well, I hope none of them had a thunderclap headache while they were driving and having an orgasm. Can you imagine?
What do you think people want to have sex behind the wheel for while they're driving?
I think that it's one of those.
It's hot.
No, I think it's
dangerous.
one of those. Yeah, it's danger.
The danger.
It's
the
the
danger.
thrill. Yeah.
The thrill. Yeah,
Yeah.
the thrill
In it
of
for
the
the
ride.
thrill.
The thrill of the ride. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And danger.
Figuratively speaking, the ride.
Danger excites people.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
But don't you think it could even be a little romantic?
I don't know if it would be known as romantic because it depends on the couple. It depends on the people. I mean, what they consider to be romantic. Personally, that wouldn't be my form of romance, but I can see where that would be danger and thrilling. Dangerous, thrilling. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that kind of really moves into the area of having sex in a public place because
definitely exhibition. Yeah, because you're driving by and then there's a big truck above you and you're just kind of having sex and the truck driver who's been driving for 24 hours with his load in the back, is like, oh my, looking down on that car.
Yeah. I wonder though, I mean, could it be like a private place? Like it's having sex in your car for privacy. I don't necessarily about when it's moving.
Well, yeah, when it's moving, it's definitely not. But yeah, some people might just need a little privacy and not have a place to go right away, so they go to their car. Yeah, I guess that could be something like that. Or it could just be, just fun and sexy. But you see, that's where you're pulled over in like the woods somewhere,
And maybe you want to throw back to high school. Who knows?
Oh, yeah,
Those were the
yeah.
days.
Oh, yeah.
If this van's a rockin', don't be a knockin'.
Or station wagon,
Yeah, 81% of women said they have touched their partner's genitals while they were driving.
You said that so nicely.
Yes.
Yes.
55% have had oral sex with their man while he was driving.
Yeah. And what else? Got another percentage there for us?
No,
You
that's
done?
it. No, that's
Okay,
it.
so we're done with that. All right. So back to a little tidbit then. Did you know that your forearm is the same length as your foot?
Really?
It is.
Did you know that your nose cannot grow to 12 inches? You know why?
Pinocchio's did.
No, it grew just under 12 inches. Very little known fact. Your nose, including Pinocchio's, cannot grow 12 inches because...
Oh, yeah, then it would be a foot.
There you go.
That was very funny. Okay, here's a little liver tidbit for you. First of all, you love liver. I know you do. Liver with onions, liver with bacon. Well, the liver regenerates in your body. You can take chunks off of it and it'll still regenerate into a whole liver.
How cool is that?
That's very cool. Yeah, we have some very smart organs. And the tongue is the only muscle in the body still connected at one end.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's only connected in one end.
Yeah, it's the only muscle
I didn't
in
know
the
tongue
body
was a muscle.
connected. Yeah. It's really strong. Yeah, look. You see what you can do with your tongue? All kinds of things.
Can you
That's
touch your
what-
nose?
Oh, no, I can't.
Who was the guy from Kiss that said he could touch his eyebrows?
Some people
Gene
have
Simmons?
long...
Gene Simmons, that's the guy.
I love Gene Simmons. Some people have long tongues.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But your tongue is very strong, though. And it's the only muscle that's in the body that's connected at one end. I think that's great. Listen, the brain only requires the equivalent amount of power of a 10-watt light bulb. Isn't that crazy?
And we only use about 10% of the power of our brain.
Some do. Some use more. I like to think I use more. There are also no pain receptors in the brain. So your brain feels no pain, although everything around it can feel pain. That's interesting, I think.
Wow.
There are no pain receptors in the brain. What, you got nothing?
I was waiting for more.
Well, okay. There's this one. I don't know if I should say it, though. The inside of your cheek is made of the same tissue as the inside of your vagina. Did you know that?
Are we recording that?
I am.
Well,
I'm just saying, I don't know if I can say that one.
I guess you just did.
But it's from AskMen.com.
Yeah, it is. Well, speaking of your cheek and your vagina, I wonder,
Oh, my gosh.
sometimes you get a little canker sore on your tongue. Mm-hmm. Well, do you know that bee vomit takes the sting out of those sores? You know what bee vomit is, don't you?
Bee vomit?
Bee vomit.
I've never heard of it like that. No, you'll have to explain this to me.
Bee vomit is honey.
Oh.
And it takes the sting out of a canker sore. This is from a study out of Saudi Arabia, where honey reduced the size and pain of these mouth ulcers.
Why do you have to call it that?
A mouth ulcer? Well,
Bee vomit.
The bee vomit
because it was different.
makes it sound so delicious.
Yeah, and I love honey.
I'm gonna put some
So I
bee vomit
wonder
in my
if
tea.
you have a canker sore.
I don't have
in
one
your
now, but
vagina. that if the
I think
honey
that's
would,
called something else. It's not a canker
yeah,
sore.
if the honey would make that go away.
yeah, I'm thinking that honey would not be the right cure.
Well, you don't know. It cuts the healing time.
You might want to see a doctor for that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I thought that sweet stuff has that antibacterial,
Yeah,
anti-inflammatory.
it's great. But the thing is if that's where you're getting,
Well,
if
wait a
that's where
minute.
you're getting
Isn't
a
that
canker
area
sore.
sometimes called the honeypot.
Oh. Oh my gosh.
Let's move on to something else here.
Oh boy.
Okay. How about let's talk about our morning meal.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm not talking about sex in the morning.
At the
Why
honeypot.
does this
Oh boy.
Why is our show so much about sex, Stephen? I don't
Because you
know.
have such a dirty mind, you.
You know, it's fun. I don't.
You know
I
what?
do not.
I'm just here. I'm along with the listeners. I'm here for the ride.
Oh, okay.
It's
You're talking
the-
the ride in the
What-
car?
Anthony
yeah.
Vincent
I'm all
and
about that
Elise ride.
So, a friend of mine goes to one of them psychological places. And
One of them psychological places?
yeah, that's how.
Who are you?
It's one of them psychological places. He was having some study done. You know, I'm always, you know, him about studies. So anyway, he's taking this test where the doctor shows him pictures, and he tells him, you know, what it looks like. So doctor shows him a picture, and he says, "Okay, what's that look like to you?" And the guy said, "Well, that looked like boobs to me." And he said, "Okay, what does that picture look like?" "Well, that looks like a butt to me." Shows him another picture. Says, "What does that look like?" He said, "That looks like bigger boobs to me." Doctor says, "You definitely have a sex thing on your mind." He says to the doctor, "No, I don't. You're the one showing all the dirty pictures."
Oh, that was good.
Anyway, so when it comes to your morning meal, we're going to get serious about this now.
Okay.
When it
I
comes
can be serious, Anthony.
Yeah, I know you can. When it comes to your morning meal, reliability has its rewards. A new study from the UK suggests that consistency at breakfast will help you stay slim.
Oh, I know this.
Yeah, and eat every couple of hours after that.
Absolutely. Oh, we always say that. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The researchers found that people with the most day-to-day variation in the calorie counts of their AM meals were 90% more likely to have a larger waist, 40 inches.
Oh, my.
Yeah. Maintaining a steady routine may help stabilize your blood sugar levels, which will prevent overeating at other times.
That's the truth.
So I have always heard breakfast is the most important,
And that
meal
is
of
the
the
truth. It is the truth.
and
Breakfast.
there is proof.
Yes. Well, there is proof anyway. I mean, proof is in the pudding.
Can you have pudding for breakfast?
You can have whatever you want for breakfast as long as you have breakfast.
Okay.
That's what gets your body started.
Yeah, there should be fresh eggs in pudding. That makes it healthy. I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got dry and brittle? Squeeze a little protein pomade into that parched mane. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did. And now our very own gatekeeper of matrimonial law, Roseanne de Torres.
Check out DeTorres and DeGeorge, certified matrimonial law attorneys at dndfamilylaw.com.
You'll be glad you did. And a big good morning to you, Roseanne.
Good morning, Roseanne.
Good morning to both of you.
How are you?
I'm great.
You are, and you look great too.
Oh, thank you.
So, from a man's point of view, because I was speaking to a male friend of mine, he wants to know, what if my wife does not want the divorce, but I do? How do I proceed?
You just proceed. So there's no fighting divorce. You don't even need a good reason anymore. It's no fault divorce.
He thinks everything's her fault.
Well, then he has plenty of grounds. So I interviewed a guy last week, and he said to me, "I want to know if I have grounds for divorce." I said, "Are you married?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, then you have grounds for divorce."
Wow.
So that was a joke.
So you don't need grounds.
You really don't need to have. You don't need to. The only ground you need is no fault, and that there doesn't need to be any harm that has been caused. You don't need permission, and you don't need the consent of your spouse to be divorced. You can proceed whether they want to or not. Yeah, so there's
As sad as that is.
Yeah, so you can't fight a divorce. You can fight the issues, the support, the custody, the distribution of assets and debts, but the actual divorce and dissolution of the marriage is not, you can't debate that.
She wants to
anymore.
go for counseling, and he doesn't want to. He's not in love with her anymore.
Yeah.
So he just wants to.
So that's a case of two people that really grew along separate paths. And he did, for people to decide that the marriage is over and I'm going to take steps to dissolve it, they've done a lot of emotional work to get to that place. And so you would hope, even though we're in the business of divorce, we still want to see people happy and thrive. You hope that when they're going through that emotional work to detach from the relationship, that they've paused and given their spouse information that this isn't working for me, I'm not happy here, let's get some help. But a lot of people don't do that. And then they just wake up one day and they've had enough now. It's over for them. Then they go to the spouse and say it's over. And that person has got a lot of catching up to do.
She's stunned, actually.
Yeah, they're shocked. So even though they have been coexisting in the same set of circumstances, their experience of those circumstances is completely different. Or even if they had thought maybe in their gut that things weren't great, they figured that this was status quo and this was their norm and that they were just going to push through it.
Well, they've been going through some other things too. And so I guess that's been, taking up a lot of their time. And she just doesn't understand. And he is not giving her much information.
Yeah, and I know this isn't relationship advice, but you have to stay connected and attuned to your partner. It takes a high level of communication. If you're really bonded with somebody, you know when something's off with them. You know it. I know you guys go home and you can tell when your partner, your spouse is something off. They're just not themselves. And I have that in my relationship. So it's hard for me to get away with anything. If I, do you know what I mean? Emotionally, when I'm off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the people that don't spend any time really, connecting on a day-to-day basis. Not something you can do on Friday night. This is a day-to-day thing. It takes effort.
It's
and that's why they say, really,
moment.
marriage is a lot of work. Yeah, because you have to stay connected to people if you want to make it last. It's not for the faint-hearted. So people that are shocked, it's sad, but either they weren't paying attention or their partner didn't do a very good job of communicating their needs and their needs.
Will a divorce take longer if one doesn't, is contesting it, basically?
Yeah, absolutely. It takes longer. Yeah. And depending on the county, it can take over a year.
Oh, my.
You can do a divorce rather quickly if both parties are motivated. A couple of months, really. It could be done in 60 to 90 days. That's super fast. But people that don't agree on much, it can take over a year.
So the contesting of the divorce, it's not the divorce they're contesting, it is the agreements.
Exactly. It's the custody. It's the support. It's how we're going to carve up our stuff. Who's going to get what? Who's going to get the house? When are we going to sell the house? What are we going to ask for it? How much time are you going to spend with the kids? Where are they going to live? It's all that other stuff.
Are there any states that if I don't want the divorce, I don't have to give it to you?
I don't know of any. I don't know of any.
I'll look that up for you, Anthony.
Thank you.
Let me know.
And has it always been that way?
In New Jersey?
Well,
No.
No.
It used to have grounds for divorce, but we would just create grounds. Basically, we'd not manipulate them, but we would make sure that there was enough.
The criteria was met.
Right.
Okay.
Fabulous. Roseanne, why don't you give your number?
908-284-6005.
Give her a call. DeTauris and DeGeorge.
You'll be glad you did.
This portion of our show is sponsored by Susan Eckley Ruck of ID Life. Not a one-size-fits-all nutritional program.
ID Life stands for Individually Designed Life, where nutrition is personal, formulated just for you and your needs.
Get started today. Take the free HIPAA-compliant health assessment.
healthforlife.idlife.com.
That's the number 4.
Or give Susan a call, 609-712-1351.
Follow her on Facebook.
You'll be glad you did. Is ignorance blissful? So the fewer partners a woman have had, she tends to have a better marriage. And she views marriage in a more positive way.
You mean like sexual partners? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, women with more partners, she tends to see marriage a little differently because she knows
She's a
what's
slut.
out there. Stop it. She's not a slut. By contrast, a man's sexual history, no effect on marital happiness.
Of course
not at
not.
all.
We're just animals.
Need a salon that's about the whole you? Precision haircuts, flawless makeup, impeccable nails, top-rated professional hair products. Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a hairstylist who has his finger on the pulse of all the latest trends? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for a dependable salon with over 35 years in the industry? Anthony Vincent Salon. Looking for New York City and internationally trained stylists that will create the perfect look for you? Anthony Vincent Salon. Shine brightly while walking down the aisle. Anthony Vincent Salon. For longer, thicker, beautiful hair extensions, Anthony Vincent Salon. Incredible makeup applications for weddings, proms, or any special occasions. Anthony Vincent Salon. Have dry, brittle summer hair? Get a hot shot. Anthony Vincent Salon. Before you put a ring on it, manicure it. Anthony Vincent Salon. Your image is their specialty. For the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Anthony Vincent Salon. For a more beautiful you, call now 609-448-2212 and follow them on Twitter.
And now for the fun facts on finance
From a feminine point of view, our very own Dina Cobran.
of DC Alexander Wealth Management. Good morning, Dina.
Good morning, Dina.
Dina, what are the important steps that one should take after losing a loved one or spouse?
This is going to sound crazy, but the first thing to do is do nothing. Too many people do too many things. The only thing you should do is contact your financial advisor, attorney if you have one, your CPA, any advisor that you have that is professional that you work with. And the reason I said do nothing is because too many people make major changes after a loved one dies. I could tell you 10 million stories about people who have dropped life insurance policies, long-term care policies, disability policies, and you can't get those back.
The most important thing, I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying?
When in doubt, do nothing.
Do nothing. And I always tell people, really, for a good year at least. I mean, some people it takes them longer. It depends on their relationship. But some people it takes over a year or longer before they should make any major decisions. I mean, other than the ones that they have to make. You know what I'm saying? So some of the ones that they have to make are, like I said, contacting the advisors and getting, obviously, the funeral done, which, you know, we know what that entails a lot. But
Many
organizing,
people do that in advance these days.
Right. And that's important to do. I think that will help alleviate some of the emotional stress that people deal with. And because they are it's such an emotional time, they really need to have some very close relationships with advisors that they feel they can trust and that aren't going to steer them in a direction that's going to, you know, put them in a very awful situation.
It's already an awful situation.
Right. And so they need to organize everything first. You know, they need to make file cabinets maybe, or a filing system of everything that needs to be done. So we've talked in the past about getting organized and having everything. They should know exactly where everything is so they can pull it out and know who they need to contact. They should never also change, if they have a joint account in the bank, they should leave it a joint account for a while because checks will still come in with both names on it and you could still keep depositing them in the joint account. I don't know. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. No.
Yes. So that's important to have because sometimes people do too much too quick and then they regret because you can't go backwards.
So once the person dies, for how long do you keep this person? God, that's sounding so cold. I'm so sorry. But how do you keep this how long do you keep everything the way it is?
Well, you could keep them on the joint account, you know, for a year as far as in the bank.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, because think about it. It depends on, again, it's difficult obviously to speak about, but depending on when they pass away, you're looking at things from a tax perspective as well.
Yeah.
You know, so it depends on when you're filing and where it falls with that. So, but IRAs, you need to roll into your own account, right? But the thing with the IRA and rolling it into your account is, again, a financial advisor needs to guide you because there's different types of rollovers and transfers that you can make. And some will be more advantageous than others. depending on how old the person is. You follow?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So that's very important to make sure that, you're getting the advice before you just drastically do everything. I mean, selling stocks, I don't care what, that even that could be too much.
So if you have someone saying to you after you've lost a loved one, you should do this, you should do that, and do this, do not listen to them.
Right.
Do nothing.
Right.
Until you go through your grieving period and have a clear focus on the situation.
Exactly. Because if you don't have a good focus on the situation, you're apt to make tons of mistakes that you're just going to regret later. We don't want any one of our listeners to make any mistakes, right?
No, we do not.
No, we want them to have good advice, and we want them to get the right advice.
And that's why they should call you.
They should. And I'd be more than happy to help them if they call me, 609-945-7330.
Fabulous.
And your website?
My website is dc-alexander.com.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Next Financial Group Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC. DC Alexander Wealth Management is not an affiliate of Next Financial Group Incorporated. 2346 Route 33, Suite 307, Robbinsville, New Jersey, 08691. Phone number 609-945-7330.
Chocolate Charlie in the house.
Good morning.
Hey, how are you guys?
Fabulous.
All right, guys, this is Chocolate Charlie, and I've got some news for you. We have a great new program for you guys that I think you'll enjoy. It's called Getting Out of the House and Doing Something. Because I know it's cold, and I know you want to stay inside, but you need to get out. It'll make you feel better, and we've got just the thing. Some of you guys really love our coffees, our teas, and our chocolate. Come by, book a chocolate tour with us. The other thing is that for some of you guys who enjoy smoking, I know the wives won't let you smoke in the house. Come out to Tobacco Leaf. Have a cigar with the guys. We've got a room where you can taste the cigars that you have. BYOB, and let me tell you, it's always a riot. Come watch the games, anything. You're always going to have a good time. And I promise you, this is the place to be.
Always a good time at the Chocolate Box, NJ.com.
This portion of our show is sponsored by Susan Eckley Ruck of ID Life. Not a one-size-fits-all nutritional program.
ID Life stands for Individually Designed Life, where nutrition is personal, formulated just for you and your needs.
Get started today. Take the free HIPAA-compliant health assessment.
Healthforlife.idlife.com.
That's the number 4.
Or give Susan a call, 609-712-1351.
Follow her on Facebook.
You'll be glad you did.
Ever know anybody have depression?
Unfortunately, yes. I know a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people battle the blues.
Yeah.
So, what did you have them do? See a therapist, something like that? Drugs, what?
I actually don't believe in that necessarily. Why? What do you think? I mean, I don't believe in drugs if you can... I mean, let me just backtrack for a minute. Some people need them. Some people feel that they need a therapist. For me, if, I was going through something like that, or my loved ones, I make other suggestions. But tell me about what you have.
Well, I certainly know if someone is manic depressive and they don't take their medicine, you can see it. But I'm just talking about like the blues. You're feeling blue.
Oh, well, the blues. Yeah. Okay. Well, exercise is usually a really good thing for that.
Yes. Or you can see your dermatologist.
Oh, tell me why.
Well, it said a single Botox injection will reduce the symptoms of depression by nearly 50%.
Wow.
Yeah. This is according to a study at the...
What if you're not a candidate for Botox?
Well, it's got nothing to do with, unless you're allergic to it, but it's got nothing to do with, making the wrinkles go away. This is just about a study in the Journal of Psychiatric Research.
Okay.
Participants experienced an average of 47% decrease in their depression symptoms after they took a shot right between their brows.
Again, what if you can't have a shot between your brows?
Then you take the medicine or you suffer.
I have to tell you like a very interesting story. I actually went to a dermatologist because a friend asked me to. She was having some work done. And she asked me to go to a dermatologist and just speak to the dermatologist, talk about some different things. She'd get a 10% reduction on what she was having done. So I went and I was talking to him about the little creases that I have in between my brows that I'm not happy about. And he told me that
I've never noticed them.
He told me I'm not a candidate for that because my eyebrows are so high set that it could actually make my eyebrows go go down. And that would be like horrible for me. And he said it would make me look older if I did that.
You don't draw your eyebrows in?
I actually don't draw them on. I fill them in, but I don't draw them on. I actually have eyebrows.
Okay.
Hey, I didn't have makeup on at all the other day, and
I didn't notice.
I had eyebrows.
Okay.
So I just make them look fuller and thicker, but I wasn't wearing a stitch of makeup the other day, and you didn't tell me I looked bad, so.
But no Botox, according to your doctor.
No, I can't have it. I'm not a candidate for it.
Well, if you were a candidate...
and I was depressed, then I should have it, huh?
Then you should. Because more than 1 in 4 went into complete remission.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it seems that smoothing out that muscle between your eyebrows reduces distress signals to your brain. So that's
I have to tell you quite honestly, if my little furrow between my eyebrows was smoothed out, I'd probably be a lot happier too.
Well, I guess that that furrow between your eyes can really affect the way you look at people and the way they look at you.
Maybe.
That furrowed look is kind of sometimes a mean look, right?
I don't think that I look mean.
No, the vernacular you, never you. There's not a mean bone in your body.
Well, there may be one mean bone.
Well.
But I try not to let it show.
Well, I wonder if this would affect, this Botox would affect the direction of a woman's gaze. Gaze, when the woman gazes at you.
I know exactly what you mean. I can't imagine that Botox would affect the gaze.
A study in psychological science shows that the way a woman looks at you really can reveal her attention.
Attention or intention?
Intention.
Oh.
Boy, I'm really messing this one up here today, huh?
I thought you said attention.
Maybe I did. But it will show her intentions.
Mm-hmm.
And they did some kind of eye tracking thing, these researchers, and they found that somebody who is romantically interested in a stranger will fixate more on the face.
Oh.
So I was just thinking
that's interesting to be romantically interested in a stranger. I can understand looking at somebody and thinking, that person is hot, sexy, I'd like to get to know him or her better, whatever. But I can't imagine being romantically interested in a stranger.
Well, what you said there, if it's pure lust, the eyes tend to target the body. Not the eyes or the face.
See, I generally look at somebody's eyes when I speak to them, when I meet them.
Oh, yeah, I always look at their eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And
you learn the most when you
right.
look at their eyes.
Yes, you do. And the windows of the soul.
Absolutely.
So anyway, the eye
framed by damn good eyebrows. All right.
Painted on.
Yeah.
Or filled in.
Filled in.
That's right. So anyway, the eyes tend to target the body, and the eye patterns in men and women are alike. And they were perceptible within like a second and a half.
Really?
Yeah. So you really need to, when you meet somebody, watch their eyes. Look at where they're looking at you.
So definitely that means you look at their eyes.
The vernacular you.
Yeah, you, all of you. Look at their eyes, and then you'll know. You'll know what's happening.
Well, our business is a lot of women, and they tell stories, and the women are always saying, my eyes are up here.
Mm-hmm.
That's an old cliche.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
So
we got an email.
Okay, tell me.
All right. Emails from Matthew.
Okay.
And he says his girlfriend won't have sex with him when he has a cold because she's afraid that she'll catch it.
Okay.
And is she right?
That's interesting. Do you think she's right?
Well, I don't know. I think the answer is yes and no.
Well, it depends on the cold.
Well, true, and how old that cold is, because the cold virus cannot pass through the semen. So you won't give it to her by giving
ejaculation.
It to her. Right. But chances are you can still pass, plenty of the germs through
saliva if
kissing.
it's still active. Yeah.
And This Anne Plomberg, she's a PhD and a professor of biochemistry at the University of Wisconsin at Madison. She said dousing yourself in hand sanitizer just won't help either. I know that I had just
I know that too, yeah.
Yeah. I had just come off a cruise a couple of months ago, and they had what was called the Washy Washy program. And everywhere you turned, there was somebody with a hand sanitizer, and they were saying, here, clean your hands, clean your hands. And it was really, really nothing more than show, because those hand sanitizers are very, very ineffective. So,
and very drying.
Yeah.
Very drying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A study that was published in Clinical Infection Diseases, researchers found that applying an alcohol-based hand sanitizer every 3 hours over the course of 9 weeks didn't protect people from anything. Just dried out
Isn't
their hands.
that interesting? Yeah.
Yeah. It's partly, because you sicken someone simply by coughing or sneezing on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's nothing to do with
breathing, kissing, whispering sweet nothings in their ear. Yeah.
How lovely.
Yeah.
How lovely.
You can just sicken somebody that way.
Well, if it's any consolation, people are not contagious rarely after a week. But I think the problem is...
Well, usually it's within 48 hours is when your germs are at their highest, you know, and then you start to go on the down low.
Right, but
and
you still be sniffling and nose running and coughing, and I don't know, for me that's not a turn on anyway.
Yeah.
So do keep it in your pants till you feel better.
Yeah, Matthew. That's great.
So anyway, all that medicine that you're taking that really isn't doing a thing for
that
your
who's
cold.
taking that I'm taking?
The
or
vernacular you.
Because I don't take medicine. Well,
right.
I stay healthy.
Yes, you do.
blessed.
I've never known you to be sick. In,
I don't get sick.
The 12 years
almost 12.
plus that
almost
I've
12.
Yeah, that I've known.
Oh
you.
no, yeah, no, we're 12.
Yeah, what's the matter? You don't remember?
You did it. Yes, you were right. I was wrong. Oh,
I can find it in my heart to forgive you. It's
thanks.
okay.
Fabulous.
So anyway, all of these medicines that the vernacular you will take to ease their cold symptoms really don't work, and a lot of them will cause acid reflux.
And other things.
As well as other things, right? There's a lot of side effects. But as far as the acid reflux go, it appears as though the more food that you eat at once, the more stomach acid splashes up into your esophagus.
Well, yeah, you don't want to have to inhale your food. You want to chew it.
32 times.
Well, okay.
Before you swallow.
Yeah, you're supposed to chew it so that your body can digest it without it,
The digestion process starts with the chew. It is the saliva.
Yes, the saliva,
will
exactly.
start breaking down the food. And as you chew it, and...
So that sandwich that you eat in 3 seconds?
Yeah,
you
but
should
I was really
chew it.
hungry.
Yeah, I know.
I was really hungry.
I know.
I inhale it.
Yes.
A lot of times you don't have more than 30 seconds to eat.
I know that, but still, then, you're freaking out, your stomach's killing you, and you're drinking apple cider vinegar.
That's right. The apple cider vinegar, for me, is the best.
Yeah. You should see his face when he drinks it. It's great. It's great. It's like priceless.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a picture of it and post it on the Trend Radio website. What do you think?
All right, we can do that. But you're going to have to take those, like the pictures that take 10 pictures in
Oh,
like
I
a
can.
second.
You know how quickly I take pictures. I'll take a whole series of them, and then we can just flip right through it, and they'll see your whole face.
I think that would
from
be
when
funny.
from when you take the first sip to that little shudder that you have at the end.
It gives you the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, professor of gastroenterology at the George Washington University says that consuming 5 meals over the course of the day is much better than scoffing it down like I will sometimes do.
Yeah.
And anyway, if you lie down to digest, because when you eat so much that fast, you want to take a nap.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway.
Well, you're suffocating.
Yes.
You're suffocating.
They say to stay on your left side, elevate your head, and that these positions may reduce heartburn, according to these Stanford researchers.
It's very interesting. It's very interesting. That's like a food baby. And when you're pregnant, they actually tell you to do the same thing. When you actually are pregnant with a real baby. Yeah. You want to be on your left side because that just works better. Yeah. That's very interesting. So Now you know for your food baby, and then for you ladies, for your regular babies, that's what you want to do. It's the left side.
I will just take my apple cider vinegar.
Well, why don't you just
my
chew?
2 teaspoons.
Why don't you just chew?
I can swallow 2 teaspoons much faster than I can chew 32 times. So my acid reflux will be my 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar. And by the way,
what?
My doctor yelled at me and laughed at me for not taking the Nexium that he wanted me to take every day.
Well, he doesn't get a cutback when you drink your apple cider vinegar.
With this $100
but he gets a
prescription.
Cutback. He gets a cutback if you're buying the Nexium.
That actually cut off the acid production in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need to cut off the acid production. Acid reflux is actually undigested food from not enough acid in your stomach. So this apple cider vinegar that I just kind of take, it just aids in the digestion process.
Why don't you just chew?
Okay. And it's all about the discipline, right?
Always.
Yes. Well, Mike Tyson says that discipline is...
Mike Tyson says, I'm going to bite your ear. Okay, what else?
And he didn't chew.
No, he just ripped.
But he says that discipline is doing the things you hate as if you love them.
Ah, it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting.
So, in other words, if I chew...
And why are we taking advice from Mike Tyson?
Well,
I don't know. He bit somebody's ear.
I happen to agree with him.
Well,
and I don't agree too much with what he says or what he does, but as far as doing things you hate as if you love them really makes a difference in
it absolutely
who you
does.
are and the person that you are.
Well, if you put a smile on your face when you're doing something that's not exactly what you want to do, it does make it go a lot faster.
I see.
A smile always works.
I smile. It takes only 2 muscles to smile. It takes 14 to frown.
Yeah, I don't frown much. I try not to anyway. Mm-hmm. It's about being positive.
Yes, positive and successful.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I agree.
And I know that we really think the same on this, that, when we look at success, we don't look at success as an end result. It's like, oh, okay, we're successful.
No, we don't do that.
No, we don't do that. It's kind of measured.
And I think success is a mindset also.
And a journey.
Yeah. Oh, definitely a journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, a journey. Not a destination, though.
And
definitely a journey.
Not how you feel at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Anyway, getting back to the flu thing.
Okay. We're back on the flu.
Well, we kind of get off the...
we get off the beaten path sometimes. But
How much time we have, Stephen? We got 5 minutes to talk about this? All right. I'm going to talk about why men are more susceptible to the flu.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
I think it's great. Tell me why men, especially the manly man, why he would be more susceptible to the flu than, say, a ladylike.
Testosterone.
Oh, testosterone.
Yes. Strong, tough, manly men.
Like yourself?
Hell yeah. But in the fight against the flu, it turns out that hormone testosterone actually makes men weaker.
Ah.
The researchers at that Stanford University analyzed blood samples from about 100 adults who have just received the seasonal flu shot, which I won't take.
Neither will I.
Yeah, okay. And it turns out that men with the highest testosterone levels...
Like yourself.
Like myself, yes. Actually have a weakened response to the flu vaccine than the women do.
Really?
Yeah. The men with low testosterone, girly men. He's a girly man.
Okay.
Yes. They have the similar response to that of women. And this study was published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Science, if you want to look it up.
Okay, then. I think we all should.
It even uses the term girly man.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Girly man.
A girly man. So why testosterone hinders the flu? Well, researchers found that testosterone, the hormone that fuels men's sex drive, their beard and muscle growth, found that the causes genes in the immune system to produce fewer antibodies in response to the flu shot. And that the higher testosterone guy has the lower antibodies.
Really?
Mm-hmm. That's what makes the vaccine less effective, thus increasing a guy's chance of coming down with the flu.
Now, what if they don't get the shot?
Then doesn't matter.
Okay.
Then it doesn't matter because
Wow.
it's the antibodies that are in the flu shot. But they
Well, you're
also
being
found-
injected with the flu.
Yeah.
So if if everything is lower, starting out lower, then I guess you're more apt to get it.
Yeah, I can't bring myself to inject any of that crap in my body because
I don't take it either. I don't need it. I feel that honestly, with what we do, we're around so many people that I think our immune systems are naturally higher.
That's true.
Because
we live well.
Well, aside from that,
And we think well.
aside from that, we're also we have the people around us constantly who are sick. They come in anyway.
That's right.
And so we have a shield that's built up.
That's true. Oh, and by the way, it's also known that men also don't respond as well as women to other vaccines such as hepatitis, measles, and that their overall weaker immune system makes them more susceptible to all types of infection.
Mm-hmm. Well, they always did say that women are the stronger sex.
Well, the men and women can be equally strong.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, they can be.
Okay.
At least with their immune system.
Tell me what you think. Tell me about that.
Chlorophyll.
Uh-huh.
Just a couple of drops of this little high-grade liquid, chlorophyll. You can get it at your local health food store.
This is chlorophyll, not chloroform.
That's correct. Yes, we're not going to pass anybody out.
You don't want to knock anybody out?
No, we don't want to knock them out. We don't want to give them a Mickey.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems as this little chlorophyll it's detoxifying and blood alkalizing.
Yes, it's very good for you.
That's what they say. Liquid chlorophyll, it's 100% chlorophyll. And there are other things that work like it too, like wheatgrass and barley grass and chlorella. But these things only work like 70%. Liquid chlorophyll is 100% chlorophyll.
Perfect.
And, drinking that little green stuff.
That little green stuff?
It's that little green stuff.
That little green drink.
Yes, you put a couple of drops in whatever. And it's worth having the...
you can even put it in your smoothies.
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick some of this up today.
You'll need it because of your testosterone. You want to make sure that the levels don't get too high.
Well, you could mix it in your coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And like coffee and chlorophyll, they're kind of like yin and yang.
I love a little bit of yin and yang.
Coffee is acidic and chlorophyll is alkaline.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the perfect,
pH
match. Yeah.
But here, getting back to your smoothie, if you put it in your smoothie, you'll have it every day because you have your smoothie every day. And this way, it'll just give you that extra little pump that you need.
Yeah, it'll protect me from that heavy metal toxicity.
Yes.
And it gets rid of like the pesticides in your blood.
Basically, it cleans you out.
Okay. Yep. It binds the pesticide residue and excretes it from the body. Chlorophyll helps your liver to remove the toxins. It nourishes your liver and gives you oxygen.
And it cleans out your body if you've been drinking too much.
Yes.
You know how you booze it up.
Yeah, that's me. Chlorophyll, the life form of plants. As you ingest it, you'll take over its vibrational energy. Perfect. And it will carry you through the day with clarity and zest. Get some today.
I love zest.
You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot and what's not every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Learn and laugh with us anytime, any place. Go right to our website, AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Click away and listen today.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to talk about, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.